Janice, are you there?
At your service, sir.
Give me some of that dating foolishness.
Will do, sir.
Guys are just still learning about themselves, and depending on their environment and how they were raised, they're trying to figure out what it is that they want before they can commit to someone else. And a lot of the times they may think that they want something, and if it turns out that they don't, all of this stuff comes into play.
Welcome to Manosphere Highlights Daily. This is not a diss video. I repeat, this is not a diss video. But there's a lot of crappy dating advice out there, and it's negatively affecting men and women. We recently highlighted women telling other women to dump their boyfriends for not liking the Barbie movie.
I think that if you're dating a man and he doesn't like the Barbie movie, you should break up with him. Literally seek help.
The foolishness, the fundamental principles of a relationship are completely disregarded. And this dating coach is about to give young women horrible dating advice that's gonna lead them to loneliness, cats, and wine in the future. Now, before we get into that bad dating advice, let's set the tone so you have a better understanding of the context of her advice.
So first things first, because you guys know I like to teach. What exactly is a roster? If you're new here and you're new to my videos, then you wouldn't know that I always talk about the importance of having a roster, especially because we as women are way more emotional than men are naturally, and a lot of the times we find ourselves in situations, or we have found ourselves to be in situations where we were only talking to one guy and we kind of assumed, by his actions even, that means that there's some sort of relationship going on, when in fact, until a discussion is had, there is no actual relationship.
Her video is aimed at explaining to women why they should maintain a roster. And in this video, she alludes to certain traditional expectations placed on men when it comes to making things official. Keep this in mind. Let's take it a step further.
You cannot jump into something and automatically assume this is no longer high school. And I mean, even probably now in high school, that's probably not the thing anymore. But when I was in high school, it was simply, I like you, you like me, we're together, we're boyfriend and girlfriend. And usually the guy does ask you to be his girlfriend too, but it's not this whole sort of long strategic process of 4 months you're friends with benefits, and next thing you know, he's dating someone else and that's his girlfriend. I mean, at least in my experience, when I was in high school, that wasn't the case. I can't speak for now.
Times have changed, yet our biological instincts still operate in the same way. Let's talk about it. Now it's time for us to get into this and do what we gotta do, because we men ain't we? We men ain't we?
It really does suck to say, but between the ages of, let's say even 18 to 24, it kind of sucks. Life itself is such, a huge learning curve within those years. It's really crazy. And the amount of relationships that you will have to, endure, or the experiences that you will have in those relationships, are so vital to building your character. And it's so, important that you're actually learning from those things and properly healing from those situations if they did not go your way. And identifying out of every situation, what was that situation there to teach you? And it really does suck, but unfortunately, the dating pool of when you're 18 to, let's say, even 24, it's going to suck for you. It really is. Now, of course, not for everybody, but for the majority, it's going to suck. Because guys, especially within those age frames, are definitely not looking for something serious, because look at the life arenas that you're in from the ages of 18 to even 24. Your frontal lobe just is developing at 25. Okay? And yes, women do mature faster than men,
While the frontal lobe might not fully mature until after 25, it doesn't imply a lack of understanding of common sense. You don't need to have a fully mature frontal lobe to have values and standards. I know women want to hear that they mature faster and men don't want relationships, but we've highlighted many times that it's women that are responsible for the hookup culture. Keyword, culture. It's actually men that want relationships with women, but these guys are invisible, and now they're opting out in droves, playing video games, watching porn. Meanwhile, it's Chad and Tyrone that are... It's these guys she's talking about. They have no incentive to be in a long-term relationship with these women because of their options and access to the punani without having to put a ring on it. That's the hookup culture that women are perpetuating. Let's take it a step further.
And to some, that's arbitrary. But at the same time, you have to understand that we're still trying to figure out what we want to do and who we want to do it with. And does this person really like me? And do I really like this person? And what am I willing to accept? And does this person accept me for who I am? There's all of these questions that go on. So my best advice even for younger girls would be to just go with the flow of things, learn as much as you can, but for the most part, you're not going to get...
What the hell is she talking about?
Something miraculous and sail off into the sunset the younger that you are, because guys are just still learning about themselves, and depending on their environment and how they were raised, they're trying to figure out what it is that they want before they can commit to someone else. And a lot of the times they may think that they want something, and if it turns out that they don't, all of this stuff comes into play.
What in the blue hell is she talking about? Advising younger girls to just go with the flow is a clear indication that you don't know the consequences of following this course. Younger women are in their prime, at their peak. This is the best time for them to find a man. They're in the best position to find a man, and that needs to be part of their plan. They can't be fooling around, riding the hot dog carousel and thinking things are going to be better after college or after 24 years old, because that's not true. Check this out.
So when I was a senior, I had a friend who was older than me who had already graduated, and she was telling me, enjoy this time. Once you graduate, it's going to be so much harder to meet people and to date and to just hook up. Enjoy it. You have all these people around you, and when you graduate, everyone's gonna spread out and you're not gonna be by people you're really gonna have to meet strangers in order to have some type of connection or to feel something, I didn't believe her. I was like, oh, you're just exaggerating, you're just not putting yourself out there, it's fine. And then I graduated. Oh my god, you're not wrong. It is so hard to meet people.
After college, things get harder. Janice, read.
45% of women are expected to be single and childless by 2030, per recent projection.
What age range are they talking about? Janice, read.
Recent data predicts that 45% of women between ages 25 and 44 will be single and childless by the time 2030 rolls around. The number of single women in the US is expected to rise 1.2% every year.
Pure gold. It's not a coincidence. She's gonna give us an important reason why things get harder and things will only get worse.
But, 25 and up, especially, you want to make sure as a rule of thumb that you are definitely talking to more than one person, because you want to keep that healthy balance of not placing so much, emotion and pressure onto one individual when you don't know exactly what it is that he's doing. I hope that sounds fair, at least, because in retrospect, it actually is. You don't know what that individual's doing, and until you guys actually have a discussion, and hopefully you do have that sort of open communication where you guys mutually decide, okay, even if, let's say, we're not boyfriend and girlfriend yet, but we are exclusively dating one another, then you can date whoever you want, and you shouldn't feel guilty about it. Because if you decide that you're not going to do this, and that the next person that you go meet, you like them, that's it, and he's, doing whatever, he's on Tinder, he's going out every night, meeting a whole bunch of different girls and DMing this one on Instagram and things of that nature and commenting on this girl's photo and texting this girl. And then he has so much going on in his world amongst other things, and you don't. You zero in on this one person, and now a day goes by, he doesn't talk to you all day.
If you're not gonna find your man at work, you're gonna have a big problem, because in this day and age, people don't meet in bars. It's all happening online, and we all know women all swipe right on the same guys. Top 10%. The rest is invisible. 2030 is around the corner, and I think this number of single women is gonna be much higher. Look what the Barbie movie is doing. It's only accelerating the process. Single women are keeping women single, including the older ones that hit the wall. So the more single women there are, the faster the number of single women will grow. If women are not accustomed to forming long-term relationships during their youth, they will encounter difficulties in doing so as they grow older.
So when you have a lot going on for yourself, genuinely, especially if you're someone that is, an entrepreneur or something of that nature, it's easy to not really pay attention to what every individual is doing because you're so busy doing your own thing that you're not gonna place so much emphasis on one particular individual until you know that you're getting that same thing in return.
Manosphere, we working. Protect yourself at all times. This video has officially been highlighted.